Hello students, today we start a new topic in our module number 3, plain and reinforced cement concrete, and topic name is formwork. So here we are generally listen the word formwork. So in this chapter we discuss about the formwork, then after we discuss on a type of formwork, requirements of the formwork, and material used to prepare a formwork, and then after some of the advantages and disadvantages of the formwork, and formwork for a column, beam, slab, maintenance of the formwork, and on which time we remove the formwork. So all these things are we discuss in this chapter. Now here we start a introduction about the formwork. So what is formwork? The modulus made of from a rigid material such as a timber or steel plates in which concrete is placed and in which it is hardened is called a formwork. So here material we use the timber and steel. Now it should be capable for carrying the all imposed dead load and live load apart from its own weight. So here concrete weight and steel reinforcement weight is easily handle on it. So formwork is mold including all the supporting structure used to shape and support the concrete until it attain the sufficient strength to carry its own weight. So here formwork is generally used in a concrete work, and here there are the different types of the formwork is available. Generally we use the steel and wooden formwork in a construction industries. Now here some of the requirement of the good formwork is given. So here requirement is given like material should be cheap and reusable. So why we use the cheap and reusable material? Because if the material is reusable, so automatically construction cost or RCC work cost is decreased because formwork is we use the reusable formwork. Now if the single time usable material we use as a formwork, so it is increase the overall cost of the RCC work. Now next is a swelling and shrinkage should be minimum. So here we use the material which should not shrink, means generally steel formwork is not a shrinkage, and it's a very well durable material, and surface should be smooth and afford easy to stripping. So here for a final finishing, when we remove the formwork, so after removing the formwork surface we got a smooth surface. So here if the formwork surface is smooth, so we get a final concrete work is in the form the smooth surface, and light in weight for the easy transport. So if your formwork is light in weight, so it is easy to handle and easy to transport any site or any go down to any construction site. So it should be practically waterproof so that it should not be absorb the water from the concrete. So generally steel formwork is used, it's waterproof type material. So in a concrete this type of the steel formwork is not absorb the water. So here concrete is fully cured. Now next is the material of the formwork should not wrap or get disturbed when the exposed to the elements, and the joint of the formwork should be tight against the leakage of the cement grout. So here cement paste is cement water is running out from the joint. So here formwork edges is very well at a 90 degree. So it's watertight and tight against the leakage, and deflection should be minimum, because if the formwork is deflected, so after removing the formwork, final getting the building component like beam, column, slab, etc. is deformed shape. So if the formwork is not deformed on is particular in a standard leveled or properly surfaced, so after removing the formwork we got a final leveled surface of the building components. Now next is a major objective considered in a formwork. So here these three major objective is the first object is quality, second is safety, and third one is economy. So quality form must be designed and built with sufficient stiffness and accuracy so that the size, shape and position and finish of the cast concrete are maintained. And second object is safety. So formwork must be built sufficient strength and factor of the safety so that they have a capable for all the supporting load. So if the load is increased, so it is safe for the labor. Next is economy. So formwork must be built in a efficiently and minimize the time and cost, so it is economic for construction work. Now next is a three stages in the process for the formwork. So here first is assembly and erection. So we use the nut and bolt and nails for the fixing the formwork as per our design and as per our requirement. And then after fixing the formwork, we put a reinforcement in a formwork, and clear cover is compulsory required on four side or bottom side and both the side. And after clear cover putting, we place the concrete. Second step is a second stage is a concrete placement. So we use the machine mixed concrete or hand mixed concrete. After placing the concrete, it's a fully vibrated by the needle vibrator or a surface vibrator. And after the some of the days, at the last of the this presentation, some of the days is given for removal of the formwork. So after removal of the formwork, it's a dismantling. It's called a dismantling process. Now next is a formwork is commonly made of. Here three types of the generally material used in a formwork. So first is a steel, second is a timber, and third one is a plastic. So we discuss on a steel formwork. So steel formwork are a stronger, durable, have a longer life as compared to timber formwork, because in a timber formwork fungus is affected in a timber formwork, and insects damage the timber formwork. And in a steel formwork, strength is higher as compared to timber formwork, and it's a durable. And here no doubt cost of the timber formwork is maximum, but cost of the steel formwork is maximum as compared to timber formwork. Now steel formwork can be installed and dismantled with a greater ease and speed. So here nut and bolt and nails are used to fix the formwork, and it's easy to remove the formwork. And surface of the formwork, steel formwork is a very smooth surface. So final finishing or final product we get in the form the smooth surface. Now here some of the advantages of the formwork is given. So here it's a very strong and able to carry the load. So here steel formwork advantages: easy to be fixed. So we use the nut and bolt, and uniform size and the surface. So here standard size of the formwork we are getting from the market, and can be used for the more number of the time because it's durable and strong. So we use the number of the time. Then after more durable than the timber formwork, and no shrinkage of the formwork occur. So it's an advantage of the steel formwork. And some of the disadvantages of the steel formwork is more expensive than the wood, because steel cost is higher than the wood, and due to high weight handling is difficult. So here compulsory if the steel formwork used in a high-rise building, so compulsory crane is required for loading and unloading of the formwork. And excessive loss of heat and limited size in a shape. So its formwork size is a limited size. Now next type of the formwork material is a timber. So generally timber formwork used in a beam and column. So most commonly material used for the bracing the members, and hence is called a traditional formwork and can be easily cut in any size or shape as per our requirement. So here generally we use the timber formwork only for the beam and column work, and generally for only for use for the beam work. Now here some of the advantage of the timber formwork is there. So first advantage is easy handling, because it's light in a weight and easy dismantle. Then after, damaged part can be replaced with a new one. So if the part is damaged, so we cut easily and then after we fix the new one. And it has a good thermal insulation, which make it is useful to be used in a colder region, and reduce site labor, and can be built to access the 60 years design life. So here some of the advantages of the timber formwork, and here disadvantages of the timber formwork is can't use for the longer time. It's a limited reuse, because for fixing the timber formwork we use the nail. So after removing the nails, or after removing the formwork, so nail holes is generated in a timber formwork, so life is decreased, and also water, sprinkling water is also damage the timber formwork. So here, if the timber is dry, so it will absorb the moisture from the wet concrete, and which could weaken the resultant concrete member. And timber has a high moisture content, so more than 20% moisture content, so wet concrete will shrinkage and curb, leading to open the joint and leakage of grout. Now next type of the formwork is a plastic formwork. So this type of the formwork, plastic formwork, is not generally in a use, because it's a costly type of the formwork. Now here some of the advantages of the plastic formwork is that, so light in a weight, reusable, chemical resistance, fungus and terminate resistance, because in a plastic no fungus or no any fungus is affected the plastic formwork, and can be easily cut and nailed by using the wooden working. And damage on the formwork can be easily removed, and very useful for a complex shape and special features. Now here some of the disadvantages of the plastic formwork is that expensive at first, and load carrying capacity is low, because plastic is damaged easily, and damage of the plastic by the heat is easily. So here some of the advantages and some of the disadvantage of the plastic formwork. Now we discuss on next point is formwork for a wall. So here it consists of a timber sheading, then after vertical post, horizontal member, rackers, stackers, and wedges. And after completion of the one side of the formwork, we place the reinforcement, and then after placing the reinforcement, we provide the clear cover, and then after providing the clear cover, we place the second side of the formwork, and after placing the second side of the formwork, we support the second side formwork and first side formwork, and tie the both the formwork by the wire. And then after we place the concrete between the two formwork, and after completion of the work, we remove the formwork after 14 days. And after removing the formwork, we got the final surface, smooth surface. And smooth surface is always depend on a surface of the formwork. So if we use the steel formwork or a plastic formwork, so we got a smooth surface, and in a timber formwork some of the damages is seen in a timber formwork. Then after we discuss on a second point is a formwork for a column. So here it consists of the following. So here side and end planks. So plank, wooden plank is compulsory required. Then after yoke is required to fix the plank, and nut and bolt for fixing the formwork. So here two end and two side plank are joined by the yoke and bolt. And then after here for the column, first reinforcement is done in a column, and then after periphery of the reinforcement we fix the formwork, and reinforcement and formwork in between the reinforcement and formwork we put a clear cover, and then after we place the concrete. And it for a column formwork it is easy to handle and easy to remove. Then after third type of the formwork is a formwork for a beam and slab. So it consists of a sole plates, wedges, props, and head treats, plank, batten, and ledges. So all the things are seen in a figure. So here beam formwork rest on head trees. So head tree is a supported wooden part, and head tree is supported by the column. And slab formwork rest on a batten and joints, and if prop height are more than 8 inch provide the horizontal braces. Now cost of the formwork. Next topic is the cost of the formwork. So here for normal work cost of the formwork is about 30 to 40% of the concrete cost. Like concrete cost is a 10,000, so 10,000 30% to 40% is a formwork cost, and for a special work cost of the formwork is about 50 to 60% of the concrete cost. And formwork cost is controlled by the some of the 5 factors, like formwork cost is depend on a material cost, then after erecting cost, removal cost, jointing cost, and labor charges. So here cost of the formwork is totally depend on these 5 things. Then after maintenance of formwork. So here due to continuous use of the wooden plank and steel plates, surface become uneven and required to maintain. So after removing the formwork we check the surface, and then after if the surface is uneven, so by using the hammer we prepare a smooth surface, and we adjust the surface by the hammering. So here steel plate, by the hammering we prepare a even surface. And for a wooden formwork we use the cardboard or a plastic fiber board. Bolt holes place must also be repaired, and for a steel formwork plate must be leveled by the metal, or loose corner must be welded. So here after removing the formwork some of the corner are unwelded, and in a maintenance work of the steel formwork compulsory welding is required at the corner side. Now here in a next slide we discuss on a time for removal of the formwork. So here structural member is given, and in a OPC and rapid hardening cement, so days is given for the removal of the formwork. Like first we discuss on a beam side, wall, and column. So after 2 to 3 days in a OPC cement we remove the formwork, and in a rapid hardening cement we remove the formwork in a 2 days. And slab or a vertical support remain intact, so 4 days compulsory required for removing the formwork, and in a rapid hardening cement 3 days is required. Slab for complete formwork removal, so 10 days, after 10 days we remove the complete slab formwork, and for rapid hardening cement 5 days is required. Now next is the beams removal of seating props remain intact, so 8 day for a OPC cement, and 5 day for a rapid hardening cement. And beam complete formwork removal up to the 6 meter span, so compulsory 14 days is required for a OPC cement, and if we use the rapid hardening cement 5 to 8 days is required for the removing the formwork. And if beam span is more than 6 meter span, so in a concreting work if we use the OPC cement, so after 21 days we remove the formwork. And if we use the rapid hardening cement in a concreting work, so 8 to 10 days is required. After 8 to 10 days we remove the formwork. So here we finish or complete the chapter of a plain and reinforced cement concrete construction, module number 3. Thank you.